Every era of golf produces unforgettable champions, but only a handful of players earn the admiration of the very legends they competed against. Lee Trevino belonged to that rare group. When icons like Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, and Dave Hill spoke about him, they weren't simply praising another talented golfer, they were describing a man who challenged everything the sport believed about greatness. Trevino didn't arrive with the polished image of a country club superstar. He didn't grow up surrounded by expensive coaches or elite golf academies. Instead, he built his game through hardship, determination, and countless hours on public courses where every shot meant another lesson. That unusual journey shaped a player unlike anyone professional golf had ever seen. During the late 1960s, golf was dominated by players with technically perfect swings and traditional backgrounds. The sport valued discipline, elegance, and textbook mechanics above everything else. Then Lee Trevino stepped onto the scene and immediately looked different. His swing appeared unconventional, his personality was loud, and his confidence seemed impossible to ignore. Many critics questioned whether someone with such an unusual style could survive against the game's biggest names. Yet tournament after tournament, Trevino kept proving them wrong. His results forced even the harshest critics to admit that success in golf wasn't always about looking perfect. It was about finding a way to win. One of the first respected voices to recognize Trevino's brilliance was Dave Hill, a golfer famous for speaking honestly, even when his opinions upset people. Hill rarely handed out compliments, but when discussing Trevino, his tone completely changed. He believed Trevino possessed something modern coaching couldn't teach. Unlike golfers raised through structured instruction, Trevino developed every part of his game through experience. He learned by competing, gambling on matches, and solving problems under pressure. That self-made education gave him a unique understanding of golf. Instead of filling his mind with complicated swing theories, he trusted instinct and creativity. Hill admired how Trevino could outthink highly trained professionals simply because his decisions came naturally rather than mechanically. Perhaps nothing represented Trevino's genius better than his famous fade shot. While many professionals constantly battled both hooks and slices, Trevino simplified the game by mastering one dependable ball flight. He aligned himself differently, trusted the same movement every time, and repeated it with incredible consistency. His famous saying, "You can talk to a fade, but a hook won't listen," perfectly reflected his philosophy. Rather than chasing perfection, he eliminated unnecessary risk. Under pressure, when championships were decided by a single swing, that reliability became one of his greatest strengths. Other players worried about making mistakes. Trevino built a system designed to avoid them. Tom Watson, one of golf's greatest champions, admired this quality more than almost anyone else. Watson believed many beautiful swings collapsed when tension increased, but Trevino's motion became even stronger. As adrenaline rose and nerves affected timing, Trevino's simple, repeatable mechanics continued to perform. Watson famously described his swing as bulletproof, a compliment carrying enormous weight from one of the smartest minds in golf. More importantly, Watson noticed something few others understood. Trevino never allowed pressure to control his emotions. While most golfers became quieter before important shots, Trevino joked with fans, chatted with caddies, and kept conversations flowing naturally. That wasn't a distraction, it was his secret weapon. By staying relaxed, he prevented fear from taking over, allowing his instincts to perform freely when every shot mattered most. Gary Player understood Lee Trevino better than most because both men had earned their place through relentless hard work rather than privilege. Player admired Trevino's determination, but what impressed him most was his ability to deliver when the pressure reached its highest point. According to Player, Trevino was one of the greatest clutch performers the game had ever seen. While fans often remember his incredible ball striking, Player believed his putting under pressure separated him from everyone else. When championships were decided by a single putt, Trevino rarely blinked. His confidence never seemed to disappear, even in the biggest moments. That mental toughness was built through years of fighting for every opportunity, and it became one of the defining qualities of his legendary career. Arnold Palmer saw something equally special. To Palmer, Trevino represented the connection between professional golf and everyday fans. Long before social media made athletes more accessible, Trevino entertained galleries with jokes, conversations, and an authentic personality that never changed. He wasn't trying to fit into golf's traditional image. He proudly embraced his roots, his accent, and his unique style. Palmer admired that honesty because he believed the game needed players who could inspire ordinary people, not just impress fellow professionals. Trevino proved that greatness didn't require elegance or perfection. It required heart, courage, and the confidence to remain yourself regardless of what others expected. Perhaps the greatest compliment of all came from Jack Nicklaus. Widely regarded as one of the greatest golfers in history, Nicklaus rarely admitted that another player had gained a mental advantage over him. Yet he openly acknowledged that Lee Trevino was the opponent who consistently challenged him in ways few others could. Their rivalry produced unforgettable battles, including major championship victories where Trevino repeatedly found a way to outperform golf's biggest star. Instead of feeling intimidated by Nicklaus's reputation, Trevino treated him like any other competitor. His famous rubber snake prank before the 1971 U.S. Open playoff perfectly captured his fearless mindset. While everyone else saw the unbeatable Jack Nicklaus, Trevino saw another golfer he believed he could defeat. Nicklaus also admired Trevino's creativity. He viewed him not as a golfer who followed strict formulas, but as an artist capable of producing shots that few others could even imagine. Whether battling strong winds, difficult lies, or impossible course conditions, Trevino trusted feel over mechanics. His lower ball flight became a major advantage during challenging championships, allowing him to control shots that others struggled to manage. Rather than making excuses after defeat, Nicklaus repeatedly admitted that Trevino simply played better when the biggest trophies were on the line. That level of respect from golf's greatest champion speaks louder than any statistic. Looking back today, the combined opinions of Dave Hill, Tom Watson, Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, and Jack Nicklaus reveal a remarkable truth. They weren't celebrating Lee Trevino because of one great tournament or one unforgettable victory. They respected him because he transformed the game through originality, courage, intelligence, and relentless belief in himself. He proved that championships are not won by having the prettiest swing or the most traditional background. They are won by staying calm under pressure, trusting your strengths, and refusing to become someone else simply to satisfy expectations. Decades later, Trevino's legacy continues to inspire golfers around the world because his story reminds us that true greatness is never copied, it is created. That is why the biggest legends in golf didn't just admire Lee Trevino, they respected him as one of the most extraordinary competitors the sport has ever known.